Hello my beautiful ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video here in the fragrance room. Today I'm standing here in the center of Lund in a little bit more greener area with a little bit trees and stuff like that around. It's very early in the morning, 7:20, so I thought I'd get the morning sun or something like that. But of course it's cloudy here in Sweden, of course it's cloudy here. But today I'm going to talk about some fragrances that are generally pretty hated, or people that are connoisseurs here in the community don't really like these fragrances. But me, myself, I really like these fragrances, and I'm gonna tell you why. So let's jump into the first one. So the first fragrance that I'm going to mention today is a little bit kind of a watershed type of fragrance. Some people in the community like this fragrance, but some think it's boring, it's citrusy, it smells like a toilet cleaner and stuff like that. So it depends in which type of league you are playing. Are you playing in the cozy, like more artistic league that you like a little bit more sweeter fragrances with might have heavy iris and stuff like that, or do you like citrus fragrances? And this one is of course Jour Artisan Pure. It's been a little bit too hyped, I think, but it is good in my opinion, and it is a very nice summer fragrance overall. Even though it doesn't last so long, it's a very invigorating type of scent, and when you smell it, you feel some type of energizing sensation, in my opinion. But I think that a lot of fragrance enthusiasts think that this is a little bit too boring because it is, you know, it is a classic designer fragrance. It's only used for the summer. The performance is not that good, so it doesn't tick that many boxes. But to me, I think this is a fantastic fragrance, and I use it all the time. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Okay, now people are looking at me funny because I'm a weird man standing here talking about fragrances. 7:30 in the morning. Anyways, what don't you do for your fragrance channel? But anyways, if you like citrus fragrances with a little niche touch, I think this is a fantastic one. I give it a 10 out of 10 for summer fragrance. Number 2 on this list, my beautiful ladies and gentlemen, is a fragrance that I think almost everyone that watched this video have tried in some type of concentration. And this is a fragrance that even non-fragrance enthusiasts, regular people know this fragrance, they buy it, girls like it, guys like it, everyone really likes this fragrance. But it is a little bit hated now, especially the Eau de Toilette concentration. And this is actually the Parfum, but this is not so. This might be the most hated one in the community, because people say that this is. I have heard, at least, that people say that this is like they tone it down too much, and they have added some more sweet nuances in this fragrance, and it doesn't really work. And people say that they take away the original Sauvage DNA in this one. But I think that this is nice for people who don't really love the sharp edges of the original Sauvage Eau de Toilette and want something that is a little bit more mature. I've also heard that people say, that doesn't last on my skin at all, this doesn't last more than 20 minutes, it's shit and stuff like that. Guys, this is really powerful in my opinion. This lasts a long time on my skin. I have no problem with performance, sillage, anything like that. I can even smell this on my forearm when I wore this, and then I took a shower, and then like, what's that smell? And then I felt it, even though I scrubbed myself with shower gel and stuff like that. So if you're concerned that this won't last, but you like the scent of this one, the Parfum version, I don't think you need to worry about this one, because I think it's fantastic, and this is even better than the original in my opinion. This is a little bit more mature, a little bit more toned down, and not so screechy, not so sharp, not so screamy. So if you shy away from that type of scent and you don't really like the original Parfum, give this one a try, because I really didn't like the Eau de Toilette when that was first released, so I have never bought it, and I had like, fuck Sauvage. I thought, I don't really like that DNA at all. But then I tried this one and it totally changed me. So this is a really nice fragrance in my opinion. Next up, my beautiful ladies and gentlemen, is a fragrance that is a little bit overlooked, because I think a lot of people think that this is too designer-like for being a niche fragrance, and this is Parfums de Marly Percival. A lot of people say, oh, it just smells like Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce, and it's just like a clone and a copy of that one. But I mean, I don't know, I don't really agree. I mean, there are certain similarities, 100%. I can't bash down on that statement, that they are pretty similar in the scent profile and the DNA itself, and I don't know who cloned who, and if this is just a version of it, or I don't really care, but I think this lasts longer. It's a little bit more elegant twist. It has, I think, more natural ingredients, because to me it smells a little bit more natural. And not only that, but of course this gets shadowed by Herod, for example, the more creamy winter fragrance. This gets shadowed by Layton Exclusive, even Pegasus. So I know that this is not on the top on the food chain of perfumes, the Marley fragrances for fragrance enthusiasts. But instead of going with the heavy promoted fragrances, if you've seen Demi Rawlings fragrance videos, she promoted Layton, but that was the reviews were bought, just to let you know, guys. And so that gets a lot of traction, of course. Herod got a lot of traction. People say these are the best fragrances in their lineup, and that's okay if you really think that way, but I think a lot of people get influenced by creators that are bought, basically. And so if you haven't tried this one, I think this is a fantastic fragrance that smells very fresh and clean. It's blue, but it also has some very sensual notes in this one, a little bit sweet notes. So it's very playful. It's not a office fragrance or office scent, and it's not a mature type of fragrance, but it works great for all type of ages and situations. Another fragrance in this lineup that don't get the love that it deserves, in my opinion, and this one is called Beau from Jean Paul Gaultier. And why doesn't this get a lot of love? I think basically the problem is when this got first release, the biggest fragrance YouTuber, the Man in White, criticized this pretty heavily. I think that's the problem. And then it didn't get the traction. People thought, okay, if he doesn't like it, he's obviously the biggest creator on this platform, so I gotta listen to what he says. And people didn't care about this. He promoted all the fragrances in that same brand. For example, Ultra Male, he promoted very heavily. So I think this got a backseat because of that. And this one is Beau. This is the Eau de Toilette version. I don't mess with the Parfum or Eau de Parfum, the newer release, because I think that version took away the DNA totally. And they try to do some like winter version of that one that I don't really feel. This is more a playful type of scent, summer playful drinks and stuff like that. So if you are in a warm climate and you are out a lot with your friends, having drinks at the beach, cocktails, you like coconut, you like the sweetness, and you also like the bergamot on the top that sits and gives it a little kick in the first few minutes, then this is a great fragrance. Try it. I know that it's pretty easy to find samples of this one. You can also ask just in the department store if they have some samples behind the counter. Sometimes they do, but I think this is not a popular fragrance in general in the community, because it's not a cool fragrance, you know. It's not so cool. People don't think it's so cool, and the reason for that, I just mentioned, the Man in White didn't like it in the first impression, yeah, but I still love this. You know, I have a big dent in the bottle, so the dent don't lie. Another one that is nothing new to you guys, and everyone knows this, is of course Creed Aventus. It gets a lot of hate right now, and have been getting a lot of hate for the last years, and some hate is it deserves, so to speak. It deserves some hate because it's watered down nowadays. It doesn't perform that good. It's overpriced. I get that. But when this was first released, this was a revolution, in my opinion, in the fragrance community. And if you don't really like the sweet fragrances with the musk and the pineapple in the base, this is not for you. I'm sorry. But I personally really like this fragrance still to this day, and I don't really think that there are better clones than this one. There are very similar fragrances to this one. Some people said that, yeah, Club de Nuit Intense took over the game when that was released. But me personally, I've smelled a lot of fragrances for the past 3 years when I've had this channel. I can't really see that Club de Nuit Intense is supposed to be better than this one in the scent. Maybe the longevity is better on the newer batches. maybe it's not worth 300 bucks for a Creed Aventus today. But if you have the money and if you just like the more natural smelling fragrance, this is a fantastic scent that holds up. I think this will hold up for years to come, because it's not like a modern type of DNA. It's a very classic DNA that I think everyone can wear. This one that I have here is a 2018 bottle, and it's very smooth. It's not so screechy. It's not heavy on either pineapple or smoke. So I think this is almost a unisex fragrance. A girl could have this one and it wouldn't be weird, in my opinion. And I think it's very nice. Like, if they could just improve the performance a bit on this one, but still keep the natural type of smell, the natural ingredients that I've heard that Creed uses a lot in their fragrances, I think you should try this one. But if you have lack of finances, if you don't have the money to spend, I 100% understand that. And then you should go with Al Haramain La Aventure Intense instead. And the last fragrance on this list is probably the most hated in the community. It got super bad reviews when it was first released. People bashed down on it, and this is of course Office for Men. I really like this fragrance actually, and I liked it the first time I smelled it. Can you focus? No, don't focus. No, that's too much to ask. But I think the problem was that when this was released, people hated on this fragrance not because of the scent itself, but because of Jeremy and his personality. So this got a little bit bashed unnecessary in a lot of ways, I think, and people haven't tried this fragrance in the beginning, so they just downvoted it and it got a bad rep. But you know, when I got this fragrance, I thought like, okay, it's nice, it's nothing revolutionary, but when I start wearing it and when it's been sitting on my skin for a while, and when I got reactions from the girls that I've dated and went on dates with in general, they really love this fragrance, and I got super nice compliments from this one. And it is a fresh fragrance that is very easy to like. It is non-complex, and I think that is what makes this so powerful for a lot of people, that they don't really have to be connoisseurs in any way. They just have to be like fresh fragrances and like to be fresh and clean in certain type of ways. But if you are a guy who likes fresh fragrances and you haven't tried this one, I recommend you to try it at least, see if you like it, and don't care what other people say in the community. Because this is actually this should be almost like a date fragrance, even though it's not typical like sweet, seductive date. You don't have to have sweet fragrances on dates, guys. It's just a community thing. We're so closed in. No, that's not a date fragrance. Who cares? I don't care. You shouldn't care it either. This is a date fragrance. Have this on a date. Girls won't say, why are you wearing an office fragrance to this date? This is not a date fragrance. Are you weird? Like, what is your problem? I mean, go home. That's not what's gonna happen. They're gonna love this fragrance, and also other fresh fragrances, of course. That's it, I think. I'm here in Lund. You want to see my surroundings? Want to see my surroundings? We have, yeah, what do we have here? A little bit of trees, and there's my old school is down there. I love this autofocus. You see, it can't snap. That's what I'm gonna buy a new camera, because I hate this fucking camera. I hate this camera. Okay, guys. Okay, what do you want to see? Here's a little building. I don't know if you can see it, but they have stars and shit inside that one. And I don't know, what do you want to see? Do you want to see anything? Here's my bike. And I put fragrances in these little bags so they won't get smashed when I have it in my backpack.